doing the welcome. I forgot. We're not doing that. Because they already know that I'm fracking Balboa, the Shogun Supreme, and who I got in front of me?
Peter Glagowski, associate editor over at Plexus.com.
Yeah, man, we were definitely excited with this Black Mass release from Eureka and MVD, man. The first Eureka collab for the U.S. states here. I know that they had a interesting partnership with Arrow, but we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about MVD, man. Thanks for the review copy. And I hope you guys enjoy those picture comparisons that we show at the start of the video. But when, as you guys saw on Twitter, I did a mistake. And I just showed Peter how I got confused with the name files, where it just said 2 files in English, but the way it is described on the disc to show Hong Kong first and export cut second. But it opened a very interesting discussion because some individuals were going with, well, how do you know that's intended? Oh no, I actually like the way this one looks. But the majority of people really wanted the Hong Kong look, which is actually the intended look. And it's something that Peter wants to explain to you guys, because it's not about intention and the way it is, but more about preserving film techniques.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people who have been collecting Blu-rays and all that probably know that when the format originally started, there was all the DNR sharpening and smoothing of grain and whatever the hell. And then for a while there, films were being recolored to look more modern so that when you bought your brand new HD TV, you weren't putting on an old film and going, wow, this looks old. You know, like you wanted it to be new and snappy and kind of digital looking. So when that began, there was sort of phasing out of old Hollywood techniques, or even, you know, foreign releases in the case with Black Mask. And that's why nowadays we have this problem where you might buy a new release, but it looks radically different from what you remember. And it's not to say that one version is right or wrong. You know, even in The Raid, which just came out on 4K, that's completely differently colored. But
right,
the director had been saying since he released the film that he wanted and wished that he could go back and retouch that up. So, you know, director's intent is great and all, and I like that directors have that kind of authorial autonomy to do what they want on a home release. But
that's a good word. I can't spell that.
But I don't like, and this could be like with George Lucas, how there's no way to get something like the original Star Wars on 4K or even Blu-ray.
Right.
I mean, there's a lackluster version of it on DVD where they just kind of scan the laser disc and we're like,
or like a fan restoration where they you could Google it. There's a group that did a fantastic job with a fan restoration of the original trilogy.
Yeah, and again, like George Lucas he can do what he wants. You know, he made the movies, he has the control over it, but fans want to see that original version. And it really sucks that in this business model we have where major companies are controlling films, you can't always get that original version. So when Frankie had originally posted those shots, I was like, what the hell happened? Like, usually Eureka's really good about this. Why would they completely change the color?
Like you saw one of my follow-up tweets, I put, I'm confused. Like, I never dogged the release or nothing. I was doing more investigating because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. It's not like Eureka to do that. They're very thorough with looking at every single home release, or even if they have the 35mm print from various countries. They always reference very heavily, even with the audio. So I wrote, I'm confused. I wasn't like, how dare you, Eureka? Like, nah. It's not their style. Even with 88 Films, it's not their style. The only time we question it, the first thing Peter said, what you said? Who released this? Who distributed this?
Yeah, I was like, just some Media Asia release? Which it's not.
Because Media Asia usually is like hands off. This is what we're going to give you, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can maybe like clean it. But what we found out is that in the US when this movie came out, which was, you said 99, so a few years after its Hong Kong release, it was Artisan Entertainment in the US and BMG in the UK completely recolored it. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it was like to fit in with US expectations. We could say whatever we want, but that's why the version that Frankie had originally posted looks so radically different is because it's the US cut. And, you know, with the file naming structure on the Blu-ray, he didn't realize.
Yeah, also, I posted an example to Hong Kong Blu-rays and Beyond, which is they got a great channel with him and his wife, and we were talking, and he was confused what I was talking about. Then I showed them examples of the Metropolitan release of On the Run with Young View, where it looks exactly like the export cut of Black Mass. It has this cream look, the lighting is gone, the vibes is gone. And that's the film that made me go heavy into making YouTube content, because I'm like, why the hell they removed the vibes of this film? This film has that noir look to it, and in the case with Black Mask, it's a superhero film.
Yeah, I would say.
And some of the dark scenes have this red tint, green lighting, and the reason it did that back then is because of the lenses being used. They couldn't capture ISOs as good as the cameras now.
Yeah, and some of the scenes were probably shot in like a brighter room, but they wanted it to look darker and so on and so forth.
Right, so they always, color graded it due to the technology at the time. Because if you put a modern film, let's say an episode of Game of Thrones, which is notorious for shooting natural looking scenes, even dark scenes, on a CRT TV, a plasma, or any TVs from that era, or LCD, it will be bad. It'll be a gray screen.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these modern productions too are shot with a neutral color tone, so there's no real exaggeration or emphasis. It's just kind of flat.
Yeah, and the reason we're not gonna speak on the film, because a lot of people know what Black Mass is Jet Li, but we really want to talk about this color grading thing because Peter brought it up. It's because to give you guys insight when we bring it up, it's not about director's intent, which we always advocate for, or the reason why things were done back then. Because if the US release, they color graded the film to their own liking, it will be subjective because it'll be two different vibes. But if it captures the attitude and what the film is going for, that's all I care about. It was the case with Righting Wrongs with Vinegar Syndrome and the 88 Films release.
Yeah, those both.
They both
different.
Yeah, they both fit the tone of the film, and it comes down to preference. They both are great, which regardless which release you own. Even though 88 Films version is the one to get, but anyway,
I'm happy that Eureka included all of these different versions. Like, I don't think I'll ever watch the export cut because I also don't really care for English dubs and all that. But it's nice to have as a complete package. And the confusion that Frankie had is that disc 1 has the Hong Kong and the US cut, and then disc 2 has the Taiwanese cut, which has 100 extra seconds of footage or something, and then there is this new re-edited cut like Brandon Bentley used to do, so you could call it like the master cut or whatever, where it compiles all the footage from every version into one.
Right, and it comes with a great booklet for this release. I mean, this thing is loaded. And freaking it has Writing You Love James Oliver. He does amazing stuff for Eureka all the time. And Simon Abrams. The John Oliver article, essay piece, fantastic. I was telling Peter about he goes into the history of the character, the influences, and how this film was close during the handover in '97 in Hong Kong. And some of the things you start noticing in the films where they don't mention names and everything. I don't want to spoil the book because it's really good. So definitely check it out. And I'm happy for MVD and this Eureka partnership because we're going to get blessed. No more people saying, oh, wow, I wish this comes out. No, we got it. We got Eureka releasing this stuff over here. We got other labels doing it from the UK. So, if these labels could talk, this well with each other, why our politicians can do the same thing? Come on now. What the UN is for, man.
And in the case with this release and Eureka's future US-UK ones, they're AB discs. So if the US one sells out for whatever reason, you can buy the UK one and it'll still work.
Absolutely. Also keep in mind, because there's something, you could tell how Frank can be thorough a lot of times, but I fumble, man, With the case of Magic Cop, when you put it to region B, it's censored. A lot of people didn't know that until I mentioned in my video.
Because that's up with the BBFC, which is their rating board over there. They don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
who likes animal cruelty? But yes, both versions of the film are on the UK disc. You just need to switch the region of your player.
Right, and I like that they did that because, you know, I'm a cat owner. I love my cats. I love my babies.
Yeah, it's some gratuitous violence for no reason.
Yeah, so, you know, it's good to have the option to see, nah, I don't want to see that. So that's amazing. But letting you guys know, if there's like animal cruelty and these A and B releases, switch to region B if you have a region free player, or if you have a PC, rip that file and you won't see that. But there's options. People don't mind that, you know?
Yeah.
But Peter, anything else to add on this awesome episode?
No, I mean, I love Eureka's stuff, so that's about it.
Hell yeah, man. But definitely, we're gonna put the link in the description, and the date is all over this video because guess what? I forgot the damn date. This comes out in 2 weeks. I know.
Sometime.
Because hold up.
I think it's April 24th, right?
Like, huh?
I think it's April 24th.
Yeah, it's April 24th, man. We just cracking jokes because I got so many stuff to review. And bam, like so it's ridiculous in this House of Times Square Kung Fu, man. But yeah, as always, like, share, and subscribe, and until the other one. Peter, let him know.
Peace. That's what I'm gonna say.